Hey, welcome back to JG3 Reviews. My name is James, and here I like to explore the world of fountain pens, paper, and ink. And this year was definitely pen and ink heavy. Not a lot of paper going on around here. I really hope that 2024 brings us a lot more options for fountain pen friendly paper. And if you've got any suggestions, put those down in the comments below. Now, I want to start here with budget pens. And this is kind of an interesting category for me. That's kind of my thing on this channel. I like to prove that you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get an awesome fountain pen. And let's face it, I wouldn't be in this hobby at all if that's what you had to do to get a good pen. And you don't have to either. So what is my budget-friendly pen of the year? It would be the Jinhao 82. This pen came in right out of the gate. I reviewed this in January of 2023, not long after it came out, and this pen turned out to be just absolutely fantastic. And better than that, this particular pen, the one I'm showing you right there, I didn't even pay $4 for this pen, $3 and some change. And in today's economy, with all the challenges going on, this is a welcome addition. But it's not just inexpensive. The pen writes well. It has a good number 5 steel nib. It has tons of color options. And the 4 or 5 that I got laying around here, they all have worked really well. And on top of that, Jinhao put a medium nib in this pen, which I really like. So Jinhao 82, great budget-friendly pen. A lot of you are out there using this pen to introduce your friends to fountain pens because there's no great loss there. Try it. See if you like writing with a fountain pen. Learn how to use it, and at very little cost. That's an excellent thing always, and especially when it's actually a great pen. Now, I mentioned that I have to approach this budget one a little bit differently this year, and here's what I mean by this. My honorable mention pen, really, I would almost say a winner of this award in a different category rather than just honorable mention, a budget pen in the non-budget sector, let's put it that way, would be the Tianzi Urushi Raden pen that came out this year. It is a stunner. It is not inexpensive, but it is very inexpensive compared to other pens that are Urushi and compared to other pens that have Raden artwork and definitely compared to other pens that employ both techniques. So this is a true work of art pen with seashell embedded and an Urushi finish and just absolutely fantastic. Writes really well. A lovely pen. It's not $3, but it is very inexpensive for what it is. And so I think this pen definitely deserves some recognition this year for bringing Urushi to people who might not have been able to have it before. Now, my second category is one that is a favorite of mine. Not everybody likes pocket pens, but I love a pocket pen. I like a pen that I can just literally throw in my pocket, either that fifth pocket or on a pair of jeans, or actually in that pocket with my keys. And as you know, the Gravitas brass pocket pen, I carry that all the time, and it stands up to all the wear and tear of keys and pocket knives and everything else that goes into my jeans pocket, and it always performs excellently and is a really sturdy pen. But this year's pen is another Gravitas. This is the Gravitas Quark, and I love this little pen. Now, this one is aluminum, and it has this really cool gray finish. I don't put it in with my keys and my pocket knife. It goes in the fifth pocket because it is that small. Just to give you an idea of just how small this is a pilot vanishing point, and this is the Gravitas Quark. It is a really small pen. Or to put it up against something else, this is a Swiss Army knife, and it is a giant compared to the Quark. But not only that, this pen actually has a number 6 nib. In this case, I got broad because I like the irony, and it's just fantastic. It writes well, smooth, reliable every time, and I have loved carrying this pen with me, and it's just handy as can be, and that's why it is my favorite pocket pen of this year. Now, this next category encompasses another thing that I really enjoy about the fountain pen hobby, and that is different materials. I love it, whether it is gray anodized aluminum, a chrome pen like this Scriveiner EDC, or even this transparent blue from that Jinhao 82. I like pens that are of different materials, but you know what I really like is a good brown pen. Those of you who are familiar with the channel know that I added a Visconti Mythos into my collection this year in this really awesome brown material, and it has been my favorite. I just think that brown material, particularly the brown of the Mythos, is fantastic. It just has nice depth. The swirling is really cool to it. I think the gold trim suits it really well, but it's just a fantastic looking pen. This, of all the pens I've reviewed this year, is my favorite material used. It's just absolutely great looking, fantastic, and a nice brown color. And it will come to you as no surprise that I do have an honorable mention here too, and that is the Abhimanyu. This is not even one of their premium acrylics. This is one of their everyday acrylics, but just take a look at that. If you haven't seen it before, go look at the review of this pen. This material is absolutely distracting when you're trying to get work done. It just is such a great looking pen, and they did a great job at Ranga, and I just couldn't do this video without mentioning this pen. Now, the next category is a fun one for me. It is what pen or company surprised you the most in the year. And again, this is limited to those pens and companies that I reviewed this year. So all of this list is just among the things that I reviewed. I might have a completely different list if it was all time, or just all pens and all companies, including things that I didn't actually get my hands on this year. This is pens I reviewed here on the channel this year. What was the biggest surprise? And that was actually the Scriveiner pens that I reviewed earlier. This is the EDC, and this is the chromed version, the blingiest version, I think. And I really like it. And I'm really not always a fan of chrome pens because they are fingerprint magnets. But a few things stood out about this pen, and it just took me by surprise. I will first confess I was guilty of thinking that this was just like an Amazon-only pen company and, just something that, was thrown together to throw things on Amazon. But I believe there's more to it than that. There's more design here than that. And the function that you get for the money is excellent. This pen has proven, since I reviewed it, to never once dry out, no matter how long I left it unused, which was not all that long, but sometimes weeks at a time. And yeah, this pen always wrote first time, every time. On top of that, I really like the blue ink that they included with it. I also really like the grip and the way that they have textured that so that it is not slippery. And that Schmidt nib, excellent. This is a medium, and I just absolutely love it. My other one is a fine, excellent there as well. And so the winner of surprising company, for me anyway, was Scriveiner. I think we're going to see a lot more of them, and the pens that I've used of theirs, which is both their classic and the EDC, very, very good, and it's exciting to see them in some office supply stores here in the U.S. as well. And while we're on the topic of surprises, my ink of the year, the favorite ink of all those that I reviewed, came up right here at the end of the year. And you may have either seen it in its own review or in the review of the TWSBI Eco in bronze, which is just one of my own personal pens. I did share a review, but this one I bought just because I like it, and this has been an excellent, excellent pen. That is Ferris Wheel Press's Stroke of Midnight. It is a shimmering ink. I don't use a lot of those, but I do find them fascinating, and this one had the perfect combination for me of a great dark blue, just the right amount of shimmer to make it interesting but not clog the pen, and it has been so reliable. In this TWSBI Eco, it has never once dried out. It has never been a problem. There have been no clogs. The glitter flows through it perfectly, and that speaks well of both TWSBI and the Stroke of Midnight ink from Ferris Wheel Press. And this is my ink of the year of those I tested. I have just been thoroughly impressed by it and surprised because I was slow to get into Ferris Wheel Press inks. Don't really know why, just was. This one won me over. It's excellent. Next, I want to talk about a newcomer of the year. A newcomer, at least to me and to this channel, was Eureka. Eureka first sent me this symmetry for review a while back, and I was thoroughly impressed. This is an industrial chemical grade material, and that makes it very interesting and honestly ought to be a runner-up on materials, not necessarily for interest and look. As you can see, it's kind of uniform, but in terms of durability and just absolutely a rugged EDC pen, very cool material. But the pen is excellent all the way around. It is incredibly well machined. It is reliable as the day is long. This pen, like that Eco, never wants a dry out, never wants a hard start, just works every time, shows no wear, even though I have put it in my pocket and I've thrown it in my backpack and everything. It just excellent so far. And if I were reviewing the pen again, I would only give it even higher marks. And then there's that new Dodecagon Ultim that I reviewed not too long ago. Just as impressive, just as good, and just as good a performer. Eureka, I'm telling you, they're going to be around for a while, and they do great work, and it's exciting to see what they're doing. And I can remember when another company was new to me and widely new to at least the Western fountain pen market, and that manufacturer is Hongdian, and I'm going to give them this year the most improved. Now, from the first pen I got from Hongdian, which would have been the Black Forest pen, they were a good value. Mine was a great performer, and I actually have two of those, and they both just excellent and have never had any problems, and I've had them now for a few years, and it's always been an easy pen to recommend to people. However, Hongdian this year, I don't know what happened over there, but they have started cranking out some new designs, still every now and then, inspired designs, but new designs, and better than that, some new nibs. And I gotta tell you, they have some knockout pens right now, and still in very budget-friendly prices. Let me just show you an example. One example that I reviewed already this year is this Hongdian N11. It's another anodized pen, but with this diamond facet finish that is just awesome, and I really do like kind of that gunmetal gray appearance. It's just an excellent pen, writes really well. The nibs on these, they're number 6 nibs, really improved. They weren't bad to begin with, but compared to last year's, this year's just over the top good. Every one that I've gotten so far, including a pen that I haven't shared with you, but that does illustrate why I'm calling them most improved. This is the new N9 that came out this year, and I just haven't gotten around to reviewing it yet, but take a look at that. This one has a long knife nib, and this time comes in medium, which is new. And again, I mean, I'm kind of giving away the video that's going to come out soon, but man, that's a fantastic pen. So I think Hongdian deserves the most improved award this year from those pens that I have reviewed so far. And, you know, honorable mentions might be people like Jinhao. You know, they did come out and improve on the 450 with the X850 and improved on the 750 with the X350. And those are both really good pens for the money. Can hardly be beat at the price that they're sold for. That X850, every time I write with it, I think this is really a great pen. But they aren't as improved as Hongdian. Jinhao, look across the street. They're doing something over there. You might want to take a note because they're going to run away with it this year at the speed that they're going. All right, now the last one is favorite new pen to me reviewed on the channel in 2023, and this one comes from my personal collection, not just pens sent to me for review or pens that I bought because I wanted to be able to share new pens and new models with you. This is a pen that was kind of a Grail pen for me, and yeah, it's not a $3 budget pen, that is true, but the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0, this one with a 1.5 millimeter stub nib, and this pen could have nearly won that material thing, except that Mythos. I mean, come on, it's brown and it's excellent and it's cool, but this one could very easily have also been the winner of my favorite material. This pen is just so well made. It writes so well. It has been reliable as the day is long, just like some of these other pens, and I just absolutely enjoy it. So my favorite new pen of the year, if I couldn't have had any of the others in just one pen, it just might be the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0. Just an excellent fountain pen. So what about you? What were your favorite pens? If you were making a list, how would your list look different from mine? Share all of that in the comments below. But before you go, 2 things. 1, thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you so much for your kind comments and your encouragement along the way. Thank you for the times where you've corrected me when I needed it on some issue or something with a pen, or added information about your own experience in the comments. I find all those things helpful. I think other pen users do. And I want to thank you for your participation in this channel. I enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. That's why I do it. I want to spread the word on some of these really cool pens that are out there and inks that are out there and everything else. And I couldn't really do that without you. And so I appreciate you. And second, be sure and hit that bell, because there's more stuff coming in 2024, and you're going to want to know when it hits the YouTubes out there on the interwebs. All right. God bless you, and have a great new year.